Hey everyone, this is Luminous coming to you guys with a pro Dota commentary. This commentary is affiliated with DC. For more commentary content, check us out on DotaCommentaries.com. Today I'm going to cast Game 1 of the finals of the Stars War 6 tournament. This is LGD versus EHome. And before I get to it, do you hear this? The soft humming noise in the background? Yeah, that's my Warcraft sound. I'm on my new computer's Windows 7, and that's why you guys could hear the in-game sound as well. Now, with that said, I have not done a test commentary of yet, so I don't know whether we're gonna have some voice desync issues. If so, I do apologize in advance, and hopefully I will fix it for my next commentary. But hey, hopefully everything will work fine. And we'll see. I'll be doing commentary on my new computers now, and it should, sometimes in my old commentary I would have some FPS lags here and there, but now in the new one, everything should be fine. Alright, let's get back in the game. Let's look at some pick and ban. We have Venomancer being banned here, which in my last commentary I kind of talked about this. Venomancer doesn't have a flashy ult. I mean, his ult animation wise is very flashy, but doesn't remove a chunk of HP like Laguna Blade or Finger of Death. So in that essence, a lot of us don't feel that Venomancer is a strong hero, but if you think about it, he's very versatile, can handle every single lane possible. His ult just does so much damage over time. If you want to just go to play Dota real fast, look at how much damage the ult actually does in the total duration and just add it up in an AoE. Ridiculous amount of damage. But let's look at the pick here. We have a Weaver being picked up right off the bat for 820, and LGD picks off a Doombringer. And let's talk about Doombringer for a bit. I mean, I could talk about Doombringer for a day, but let's spend a minute or two talking about Doombringer. Back in 2010, he was the auto-ban hero. Every single game, he was completely banned. He wasn't even picked. It's just completely banned. Always banned. In 2011, he has seen some play. Maybe people forgot how strong he was. Maybe a lot of teams saw the other teams wasn't banning Doom, so let's ban it because other teams are not banning, or let's not ban it because the other teams are not banning it. And Doom, is a strong hero, but is it that strong? There's some question like that, being on the rise. But let me tell you that Doombringer is ridiculously strong and should be banned. My opinions might have swayed from time to time, but after seeing some YYF replays, YYF Doom replays, ridiculously strong. The Chinese love to pick Doom against the enemy's Radiant Spire. They see it as a counter. You might be thinking, well, how is Doom a counter? When I think of a Radiance counter, isn't Morphling one? Because you could replicate the enemy hero who has a Radiance, and then you get a free Radiance of your own. Isn't that of a Radiance counter? Well, Radiance Spire, excuse me. We see a Weaver, we see a Spectre, a Syllabir. None of these heroes farm ridiculously fast, and none of these heroes are that useful to the team. Of course, Syllabir could do a little bit of pushing, Spectre could do a little bit of team fight, ganks, and Weaver could do a little bit of chasing. But as a whole, they're not that strong. They don't really help the team that much before they pick up the Radiance, and they farm pretty slow. I mean, they last it well, but overall they farm pretty slow. The Chinese see Doom as a counter to Radiant Spire simply because he buys the Radiance faster than the opposing carry. It's like you base your entire strat to farming the Radiance, but we will have our Doom farm our Radiance faster than yours. And when he's farming for his Radiance, he's going to be absolutely a beast. It's going to be so useful for our team. Not only does he, set up ganks with the Scourge Orb, he could tank really well, he could run in and distract, or he could just disable one with Doom or nuke a lot with level def. He does so many things so well, and he will farm that Radiance quicker than your Radiant Spire. So in that essence, I believe the Chinese are right. Doom is a counter sort of to the enemy Radiant Spire, simply because he picks up faster and he also provides his team a lot of muscle, unlike the other Radiant Spires. So in that essence, I really love the fact that LGD has picked it up, and I'm really surprised that 820 has not banned the Doom, considering that YYF is one of the best Doom players in the country. I noticed I've been 2xing through this pick and ban analysis. Well, there's not much to talk about. Ooh, the other thing I want to talk about is that you see these two picks for the supports, the Enchantress and Vengeful Spirit. LGD has been running a dual jungle and 3 solo lanes quite often in most of my LGD replays. In the games I've cast, I've seen them done this, where they have 3 solos, one in top, one in mid, and one in bot. And they have 2 supports roaming mostly, if they're in the Sentinel, they roam mostly in the between mid and bot, and then they farm a lot in the jungle. So what they do is, they have Enchantress and Venge, and then they just farm up. They just farm. They mostly farm. A lot of the other Enchantress / Chen replays, we see these Enchantress making ganking and pushing a priority. Whereas this one, they go a little bit more farming based, which is very interesting. I pointed out as the game progressed. I really love the Puck counter pick, and I'll talk about why as I describe these first 3 picks from A20. If you look at them, very high mobility base. Sakuchi, Wimrun, Clockwork Hookshot, they run very, very quickly. Crystal Maiden, not so much. But what this Puck pick is allowing them to do is, well, we see you guys move very quickly. I'm going to drop down Dream Coil, hey, and even the Brood pick, very high speed hero, right? So if we drop down a Dream Coil on everyone, there's not much the EHome guys could do. So I really love the Fairy Dragon counter, but he's just an annoying hero to deal with. Now we have LGD going for their last pick. I'm not too sure what they need here. Morphling would take up a little bit too much farm, although they do have ZSMJ. He's a very farm-intensive player. They do have their Triling. Excuse me, not Triling. They do have their 3 solo component. The Puck is right there. The Doom is going to be solo mid, and so they're going to pick a solo bot hero. The solo bot hero, you could kind of go with everything because of how the lane's going to be worked out. He's somewhat protected. And yeah, they're going to do a Gondar, which, logically it works out, because there's a Broodmother and there's a Weaver, a lot of Invis heroes, and also you gotta keep in mind that track gives you bonus MS, so you can keep up with the high mobility lineup that the Scourge has. So we'll see. We have actually Sentry wards being picked up. So Crystal Maiden doing a little bit of counter warding as well. That is gonna hurt her. She's not gonna get too much initial starting item. And wow, did she buy everything? No, X bought the chicken, so she's bought a lot, and 2 sets of Tango. Whoa. Oh, maybe the sets of Tango was bought by one of his teammates for her to hold. I'm not too sure where that other sets of Tango. Probably bought by X as well, yeah, because X didn't have, yeah, definitely bought by X. So that's very interesting in terms of item buying. Now we have Gondar most likely going to bot solo, and then these 2 in the jungle, and then Doom solo mid. So far, right off the bat, we have some very interesting item buys and whatnot. In terms of Scourge lane, I'm very likely to see a Clock at bot solo, and then Broodmother mid, and then we're going to have a support runner judging from the item and the player, of course. And now we have a ward being placed down, right here, ward being placed down by the clock, and this ward will shut down this camp and also this camp as well. So that is gonna slow down Enchantress farm, and let's see how quickly the Scourge, the Sentinel player react to it, because I'm sure they will know, like right at the 1 minute count, they're like, hey, this creep camp hasn't spawned yet, and they'll know by then. Looks like a little bit of skirmish going on here. There's a rune on the top being I think Venge should be better off taking this rune. Another ward being placed by LGD here. It looks like Enchantress is going to be offensive jungling. No, they're going to turn back. Yeah, they are going to turn back. I think this suits LGD's playstyle a little bit more when they're defensive jungling, because they like to do this a lot. Just roam between mid and go bot, mid and bot, and they're going to be quite effective in doing so. Meanwhile, the mid lane, we're going to see a Brood versus a YYF lineup, which, it works fine. Neither of these guys could kill each other. In terms of killing potential, I think Doom has a higher chance of killing the Broodmother, simply because he has Doom. Whereas the Broodmother, sure, he has incapacitating bite, insatiable hunger as his ult, but between Scourge Earth and probably a Cobalt creep, you're going to run out of that the slowing combo fairly easily. On top lane here, Puck already got 1.5 level, simply because these guys have got too slowly into the lane. Rimrunner doing a little bit of harass, drawing the creep aggro, not so good, but she's going to pull the creeps back in the lane, and then now the Puck is not going to have any EXP to work with. Meanwhile, the Clock at the bot lane is going to get some EXP against Gondar. Gondar at 2-1, Clock in 2-2. This lane is going to be fairly even, although I want to give the advantage to the Gondar, simply because he has Janata. That's going to basically, whenever the Janata is online, ZSMJ is not going to miss an easy coup kill like that. And now we have a magic stick being picked up, which I suppose against the rocket spams, going to get some low bit charges. Yeah, he gets 1 charge right there, so I suppose that works out. It's not bad. And again, want to point out, these guys are not ganking. A lot of Enchantress plays based solely on gank. Say, want to gank and they want to push. Now these guys definitely know there's war being blocked, and what is Venge waiting for? Venge is waiting for Central right very on top of it. 830, gonna get a counter ward down right now. She knows exactly where it is. Gonna drop down Sentry ward and gonna go counter it, but unfortunately I don't think she's gonna counter it before the next, yeah, it's not gonna counter it before the next spawn. So that observer ward, although counter, still blocked the next camp, which is not bad at all. Meanwhile, looking at top lane a little bit, Puck and X doing a little bit of harassing back and forth. Puck very low HP, he's going to pop himself, no big deal. Meanwhile, X doing a very good job of keeping the Puck back, limiting the XP, and they are creep equilibriuming like crazy. Meanwhile, Crystal Maiden is also level 2, has not got the aura yet, so that means she has got a Nova and a Bite. And I'm gonna look forward to the Crystal Maiden maxing the Nova by 7. I have talked about this in my commentaries in the past. I firmly believe that maxing Nova by 7 is the correct choice of build, because simply it's just a great nuke. 1100 range if you hit the enemy right on the tip, but in most cases it's 1k range. And if you want to compare a Frost Nova to a Pudger Meat Hook, is also in 1000 range, just looking at the range like that is simply ridiculous. A 5-second AoE slow, nukes for very healthy damage, slows attack speed as well. Looks like they're gonna make a Doom attempt, but they're not gonna do it because Skill Sheriff is just absolutely ridiculously easy in terms of running. And it looks like there's a gank attempt on the bot lane as well. They are slowing down the clock a lot, but I don't think they can get a kill. Venge does not have mana for yet another stun. He gets out there and salves up, no big deal for that clock. And also that very luckily has brought the creeps under his tower, and that means he's gonna get quite a bit of EXP in there as well. Already level 4, very, very well done. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, looks like we have the Crystal Maiden constantly jungle and has 9 tangos, which be like, you're gonna tank so much damage anyways. Might as well hear some tangos, hey, Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we have a bottle being picked up on the Broodmother and a Boots of Speed being picked up on the Doom. The bottle, I suppose, is nice. Not going to give you as good of a mana regen compared to Soul Ring, but what that will give you, especially with the conjunction of your your spider webs, you can have a head start to run to the next rune, which will save you a little bit of time in terms of not missing too much EXP in the lane. So I suppose that's pretty good. Meanwhile, on the bot lane here, we do have a Furbolg being picked up, and looks like they are going to make a ganking attempt on the Clock. You got to keep in mind, Clock now is playing blind because that ward has been countered, and now Clock does not sense it. No, Clock does not sense it at all. He's actually running now. ZSMJ being very aggressive, and now we have a magic missile. We're going to have a clap after. Janata is going to cool down, and who's going to pick up the first blood? ZSMJ jacks it with that hit of the Shuriken toss. Going to pick up a Ring of Hell. Very, very farm ZSMJ, and now they're going to have the free lane to himself to get even more farm. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of spiderling. Yes, very good micro from the Broodmother. Gonna micro and just take out camps like these, where it's fairly easy to take out if you have enough spiderlings to work with. I think that's level 3 spawn spiderling. That should be level 3 spawn spiderling. Level 5. Has an Invis rune on the bottom. That is going to keep her safe, but I think any type of ganking party going to come in, they should have dust coming in as well. A little bit distracted by my neighbors being very loud outside. What rude people, right? Okay, anyways, ZSMJ checking on his farm. He's got 24. Again, these guys are just jungling together. Both level 3.5. Very good job. Let's check out how Crystal Maiden's doing, because she's been doing jungle, keeping up on the levels. I like that. I like the fact that both these teams are treating the jungle as the extra lane. Extra lane as for the EXP and for the goal. I think not many teams are realizing that jungle has a lot of go, and I actually like this. Sending the Soul Stealer in lanes like, hey, Clock, you want to come in lane? Come in lane. Yo, I dare you. It's going to zap your mana a little bit. You're on the mid lane here, checking on the farm. 20 versus 23. Broodmother a little bit better. The Doombringer is getting extra gold through Devour, but the Broodmother getting the extra gold through this, and actually helping out the Crystal Maiden a lot as well. So, man, this is, I'm not too sure how much of this is intended or how much of it is, by creatively made by 820. Crystal Maiden is like jacking creep kill, man. It's like, maybe Lamb doesn't see me doing this. Slowly jacks him. It's like, hey, pretty much like, what the fuck, man? This is my creeps. GTFO. It looks like we have a Centaur being picked up. This Centaur, and looks like a, what was that? There's a dust and a smoke. They are definitely gonna go for that Broodmother. Broodmother might be sensing it, but Crystal Maiden going very, very aggressively with the Boots of Speed being picked up. Very, very early boots. Here's a Swarm. Here's a Nova. Where's a Freeze Bite? Freeze Bite. No, he zips right out, and looks like he's gonna be okay. Very low HP. No, power shot from X is gonna get the kill there. Very, very good job. And now with that Puck dead, they are gonna go for this tower. Very, very low HP. What Crystal Maiden needs to do is actually stand here and lead the creeps away, and that is gonna, well,